I mean, there's lots of solutions. It depends a lot on what you're trying to do, right? At one end of the complexity scale, when you got one product and you're only selling it online, maybe you're only selling it from your own website, then you have a fairly simple fulfillment problem to solve, right? I need to bring inventory in from the factory, be it in China or in Gilroy. I need to put it in a warehouse somewhere. I need to take orders and ship them direct to consumers. And while you could do that yourself, you probably don't want to. It's painful. And there's lots of companies. I think some guy was here actually, was taking office hours later, who does that. We've used Rush Order. There it is. We used Rush Order down in Gilroy. They do a great job of that, and there's many other companies like this. And their specialty is exactly that. I'm going to take product, put it in one warehouse, ship it direct to consumer, usually US only. So it's really a matter of what do you need? And frankly, probably at the conversation we're having now, it's much more on that easy side of the scale. I'm going to ship direct to consumer. And my big goal in 6 months is to ship to Amazon also, which is pretty easy to ship to. So then you're looking for that local guy, and you're probably better off with a small local firm because you can call up the CEO and talk to him, as opposed to it's a international corporation. You're going to talk to a sales guy somewhere. Lots of companies do this. You just need to find one, and there are a lot of them in the Bay Area.
The other really important reason that I would advocate to have a local place where your inventory comes in and gets aggregated and then shipped to consumers is that you will sometimes need access to it after it's manufactured, but before it goes out to customers. And especially for electronic products where they have firmware. We've done this on more than one occasion where we'll go to our third-party logistics operator that has a warehouse in Fremont and stage what we call China at home, which was basically unboxing every single box of product. In some cases we'd do some testing, but most importantly we'd flash the latest version of the firmware onto these units, put them back in the box, make sure there's no fingerprints on anything, and box them back up. And so you sometimes need to do that because you didn't quite get the firmware finished before they had to box it all up and put it on the boat or put it on the airplane to get it to you.
Yeah, more often than you would think, actually. Another part of that also is reverse logistics, right? You ship 1,000 units, 5 people are going to send them back. Where do they go and what do you do with them? And that's another role the fulfillment house can play for you.
If your product is small enough that you can ship it first class USPS, then you have more options. If your product is bigger or more expensive or more valuable, and you have to ship it UPS or FedEx, then that gets real tricky because you're talking like $70, $80 to ship it internationally. So in that circumstance, what you want to do is sign with a fulfillment house, at least for international. Meaning you sign with a fulfillment house that has international warehouses around the world. You send them pallets of your product to the warehouses, and then they fulfill only the orders that are in that territory locally. So you end up only paying local shipping for all that fulfillment. That's a really smart thing to do that few people actually do for these crowd campaigns. And then for your domestic orders, you can decide if you want to work with the fulfillment house at all, or if you just want to ship them, get some space somewhere and ship them all out yourself. Either one is kind of a viable option.